Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So I know I've commented a lot about Caleb Hammer's show and some of the guests he has on and my criticisms towards really what they're doing. But this one is quite a lot different because so many of you have reached out and wanted to get my comment on this video in particular, okay? It's titled 41-Year-Old Refuses to Get a Job and Grow Up. And I'll tell you right off the bat, within the first minute, this one stood out as something that I did not quite expect. It's wild. So with that said, you guys, I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe. It does help out tremendously. I'll link to Caleb's channel down below in the description as well. And now with that said, let's begin.
So what do you do, 41-year-old Austin, Texas, for a living?
I'm just like hustling every day, basically, because I have been blacklisted for most jobs.
Whoa.
I have a criminal background.
Oh, man. Okay, so blacklisted from jobs, criminal background, and then proceeds to laugh about it. Well, I guess, what else could you do in the situation? You have to find some humor in everything, right? At least go about it in a good spirit. It's not something that you could play victim for necessarily, but, the situation is what it is. You're dealt with a certain hand of cards. This is what you have to move forward with. You got to make the best of it. I agree with that. But I don't know about being blacklisted altogether from every single job unless he's got a reputation in the industry for being a bit difficult, being, impossible to work with, no references. Like all of these things go a really long way, even with a criminal background. Unless the criminal background is like something crazy we can't even talk about here on YouTube. But, which, we'll get to that and we'll continue.
I told Governor Abbott on Twitter that I would eat his heart. I was arrested by 60 PA agents. They knocked on my door, and I spent 4 days in jail on a terror hold.
Ah, man, here's the thing, though. It sounds like they wanted to make an example of him, that you can't just say whatever you want online without any repercussions, especially if it's at the threat of harm to another person. Like, I think there could all be something to be said about, like, ew, you're stupid, you're an idiot, but where do you cross the line? It's like, I'll eat your heart? I don't quite know. To me, the line is drawn when you have the intent to follow through with something. Maybe that's like, I'm going to eat your heart, and then you plan for ways to eat their heart, like maybe. But if it's like, I get the comment all the time, like, oh, Graham, you have a punchable face. Perhaps that's not saying they want to punch me in the face, but that I have a punchable face. I don't know. I feel like the internet's such a wild, wild west, and if a state wants to crack down on it, what they're really cracking down on is what you can and cannot say online, which as of right now is really just up for interpretation.
When people get back to you, what do they say when they reject you from a job?
Well, some say, oh yeah, we checked your background. Some actually are required to check your background by law.
And they're worried about a misdemeanor?
Yeah, a misdemeanor B.
Oh, man, here's the thing though. Anytime they Google his name, it's really whatever's going to be coming up first, especially if he has a name, is going to influence their decision, especially if it's something like a terrorist threat, okay? The best thing that he could do at that point is to fully own and explain what he did, perhaps change his name, I don't know.
I owned an advertising agency for about 8 years, and it was great. Like, I loved it. I'm good at it. And then I got assaulted and my apartment burned down. Things happened.
Wow. So much is happening to this guy. This seems like one of the guys who trouble just follows. I don't know if he's putting himself in these situations or if he's the problem or you know what? Bad place, bad time, totally just terrible luck. I don't know, but this guy's got so much going on that it makes me think it's like how many things have to happen?
I just gave it all up. I referred out all my clients to, competitors and friends, basically. It was like, I can't take care of you anymore. And yeah, it was kind of sad. I loved doing it. Like, I worked so hard.
See, that's one of the things that you could do if you're almost like blacklisted from working anywhere. Start your own business. Doesn't need to be your name. You don't need to be the face of it. Come up with a fancy title, whatever it might be. Work for yourself. Because if this guy truly has the means of, making up to $500,000 a year in his own business, he has the sources and the knowledge to be able to do that again. I truly believe it. The skills that you gain in doing that will continue to transfer over from whatever you decide to do.
This is not to shame or anything like that, but how do you feel personally that parents in their retirement age are taking care of you?
Grateful.
Grateful?
Yeah.
Do you feel any embarrassment, any shame around it?
A little.
That's an interesting one. Grateful. I think Caleb was going for embarrassed. but it's true. He should be very grateful for his parents. Like, I think that's actually an answer I didn't quite expect him to say, but you know what, it is true. To have parents that will support you and that got your back behind, even through Twitter stuff. You know, it says a lot.
You've been applying to jobs that you more want to do, correct?
Well, jobs that I'm qualified for.
Okay,
mostly.
but not jobs that feel like are a step down.
Well, yeah, because
Or
I
a
feel
couple
like I
step
want to accomplish things. I want my
Okay,
career
so
to
you're
move
picking and
forward.
choosing, to be very clear.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, though? It depends, because there is an opportunity cost for accepting a lower-end job, because when you're working a lower-end job, even though it is bringing in some money, it makes it a little bit difficult to get a better job, you know, between the two. If it's one that's like, hey, working $15 an hour, or maybe I could get the one where I really want $40 an hour, it might be better to pursue the 40. Maybe give yourself a timeline. Be like, I'm gonna do this for 3 months, 4 months, and if nothing pans out, I'll take that $15 an hour job. Work them both, but or just rely on your parents.
But you said you're not willing to accept that much rejection, so you're not willing to just go out and work your butt off to get that job.
I already have. I've kicked so much. I've fired Congress people, you know? Like, I've kicked.
He's given up. I mean, he's already made the decision. That's the thing. That's the difficulty with Caleb that he's trying to get across. Is that like he's giving him a solution? The guy's like, no, I don't want that because I can't do it. So he's already disqualified himself from that.
If I go into a job, they're afraid I'm going to be their boss right off the bat because I might be, just because it's my attitude. And I'm smart. And I can boss people. I have a degree in information systems. I've been a journalist. I've been a policy analyst. I've been an advertising agency.
He's got to take his ego down. That's the thing. It's like, I would agree with him if he's done all of these things. It's fantastic. It's hard to take your ego down and just accept something that is mind-numbingly boring that anybody is, able to do. You're able to be replaced within like a few minutes. It sucks, right? But at the same time, it's like, if that's what you have to do, you have to do that. I think this guy is holding on to expectations that the job market is not currently valuing.
You have a car.
Yeah.
Why aren't you just... Well, have you applied to be like an Uber driver or something?
I wrote an expose about Lyft and I'm banned.
Okay, Uber is what I said though.
Uber, I have not tried that one yet.
An expose and you're banned. Jeez, okay. He's really just closing a lot of doors. He should just be like a troll blogger online, just making, whatever claims he wants to, riling people up, trying to sell ad space. It seems like this guy's just a big trash talker online. That's what's getting him in trouble. Can you turn that into a business? I don't know. Insurance on that's going to be high.
Are you saying right after this, you're willing to just go apply to a bunch of fast food places, and if they accept you, you will work there?
Yeah.
Good. Do it.
I'm moving in 2 months, so I don't...
See, he's got an excuse for everything. It's like, oh no, I do that. I totally do that. But I'm moving. So what's the point of doing that if I'm going to move in 2 months anyway? I think this guy mentally has just made up his mind what he wants to do, what he does not want to do. And he's accepted at this point that he's not willing to do what it takes to make minimum wage if it's not what he wants to do. Which at this point, like if he's looking for a job, beggars can't be choosers. Like if he wants a job, he has to take what someone else wants him to do.
Is that lotto.com?
Yeah, lotto.com, lottery. I'm going to hit it big and make millions.
So you gamble a lot.
I spent like $30, something like that.
I can't afford to gamble. That is one of the largest taxes, believe it or not, for people under the poverty line. It's called the lottery tax, okay? It's generally found that lower income people play the lottery more often because they believe that, it's such a small amount, but you could win so big. But the issue is that the chances of winning are so small that for the most part, they're almost all a loser. So, it generally taxes people in the lower income brackets because they buy the most lottery tickets, which is a really bad use of any money. Now, sure, every now and then one might hit, but realistically, it's going to take thousands of lifetimes to maybe even get like a 50% chance of winning one ticket, like thousands of lifetimes, okay? It's not worth it. You're better off just even if it's $5, putting that in a Roth IRA. Maybe spend $1 a month, at the most, if it gets you thinking, if it gives you a bit of hope, if it's something fun for you to look forward to and check the numbers with, some buddies. Maybe you join a work thing, something like that, but it cannot be a retirement plan.
You are gambling. Do you not accept that as childish behavior?
Kind of.
Would you consider you have a gambling addiction?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so it's more, you're just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this to me seems more recreational, like he's bored and like, hey, let me toss $7 at this, $10 at this. A gambling addiction to me would be like he's selling everything. He's putting all of his money towards it. He'll scrounge up whatever he can. This to me seems more like a way out. That's all it seems to be, a fun way out.
Apple bill of some kind. The lottos are popping in and out of all these as well. Prime Video something. Aunt Trier plan, Alamo Draft House, OnlyFans, Uber.
OnlyFans? What? The guy's buying OnlyFans. I love how he just glosses over that and goes to renter's insurance. And the guy's, well, renter's insurance? Like OnlyFans? No. Shouldn't be paying for that either. I'm actually more against the OnlyFans than the lottery, because at least in the lottery, there's some expected ROI. Like, you're gonna lose half of your money, right? But OnlyFans, like, you're gonna lose all of it. You know, I wouldn't spend money on that. He can't afford that.
You don't need 7-Eleven taquitos to be your daily caloric intake. You can get something cheap from the grocery store.
You can, but it's actually kind of cheaper.
It is not cheaper for the amount of crap that you get at a taquito.
Have you seen the price of eggs and bacon?
You don't go buy eggs.
Yeah, I know, and eggs are so expensive now. They're like $5, $6 a dozen, depending on what you get. It's insane. The price of eggs is just through the roof. But yeah, this guy should be eating way cheaper. Beans, rice, lentils, get some good, ground beef or turkey. Mix that in, perfect.
If any industry is desperate to hire, it is service.
And how long do you think I'm going to last there?
What does that mean? In terms of get fired, or you existing?
Yeah, until I raise an issue and then.
Well, if you decide to be a big boy and take care of yourself, you'll last there for a while.
Oh, it's so bad though. It's like, how long until they fire me, basically? Because he's basically insinuating that he's going to make an issue doing something. He's gonna be a problem for the company. You can't do that. You can't go in with the mindset of like, oh, any day now I'm gonna get fired because of something I say. You just got to be on good behavior.
I have a degree in information systems, so if I see a way to improve something, I'm going to suggest it.
Why have you brought up this degree in information systems that no one cares? We don't care.
What did I spend that time on, man? What did I do? Why do I have a degree in information systems if nobody cares? Should I go back to Texas Tech and just give it back to my professors? Be like, nobody gives a shit.
Well, if I was just about to get up, he's like, all right, guys, well, I'm done, but I'm going to keep talking over here. Keep talking. Yeah, I'm going to argue with you a little bit. All right. We'll continue.
I wanted to work for the city, redeveloping the city's website. And you know what? They spent more than $1 million on that project. Never delivered anything. And Office of Design and Delivery no longer exists as an entity because I made sure of it. Because I'm vindictive.
Whoa, this guy just went off the rails there, really. So it no longer exists because he is vindictive? Who would want to hire this guy? That's the issue. It's like, I just see red flags. It's like, at first it's like, yeah, you kind of want to give him a chance, but then he's ungrateful for the work. He doesn't want to take the work. And then he's just like, you're afraid of this guy because of what he could do when he leaves. It's just bad.
Anything in a Roth IRA, any kind of retirement?
No.
Does that scare you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
Coming up on there. I have one sister, but we haven't spoken in years.
I wonder why. I wonder why he doesn't speak with her. There's more going on to this, but the fact that he has no savings at all, relying on his parents, I have a feeling unless his parents kick him out, or he has no other option to turn to, he's going to continue on this path, unfortunately.
Do you have any debt?
I have a couple of short-term loans that I took out.
Payday?
They send you a check in the mail. And it's usually 30% APR up to 100% APR.
Oh man, he's taking out 30% loans while buying lottery tickets, while not working, while living with his parents. It gets worse. What does he need the money for at this point? He could just live for free. Why? Why not just live at home with your parents, do nothing, read books, help cook them meals? I mean, you could probably live off of $500 a month. I mean, he just needs to do the bare minimum if he's living with family and just chill at this point.
About $9,000 on it.
That's debt. Okay, $9,000 at what interest rate?
It's not bad. It's 14.
Sorry. I had to chuckle at the not bad part of that. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well,
that's vomit.
For a normal person with a normal career. Yeah.
14. It's like you'd be lucky just averaging 8% in the stock market every year. 14 is almost double the performance of the stock market. It's going to take him a long time. At this point, he may as well just file bankruptcy and start over. It's not like he needs his credit for the next 7 years anyway at this pace.
If I have to like start an advertising agency again, I mean, I don't know if I have 80 hours a week in me because I'm kind of exhausted, but I guess I could do it. I don't know. I'm looking for just salaried role. It's commensurate to my abilities, basically.
He basically just wants to get paid without having to mentally be there. But the problem is that if he gets paid by being told what to do, he's not going to be happy with that. He wants to be the one in charge. He doesn't want anyone talking down to him, and that's going to be a problem.
I don't know if you're willing to work 80 hours a week at a place like Whataburger because you feel like it's slightly beneath you. And for your experience, correct, technically, but just so we can start getting some money in and take care of the situation you've put yourself in.
Yeah, he's got to put his pride aside, suck it up, and just get a job. I feel like South Park, like, get a job, you know, but in all honesty, he's just got to work. He's got to do anything possible so as not to basically just be a leech off his parents.
Well, you're in the fortunate situation of your parents taking care of your rent. Every single cent that is not going to pay the minimum monthly payments and your insurance and anything like that is going to paying this. I would only do $300 on groceries and no food outside of that.
It's going to be tough for him, again, because he's going to feel like he deserves it, because he has all this experience. That's the problem with a lot of this, is that when you've accomplished a certain level of success, or, you know, even if it might be in the past, might not be justified now, but regardless, he has the time and the effort that he's put in the past, achieved a certain level of results, and he wants that same result and the benefit of that. But he's now borrowed from his future to pay for that today. It's going to be tough.
I don't think the value of my life depends on cutting out taquitos and eating a bologna sandwich. I don't think that's the difference maker.
It's the sacrifice. It is because of all these green lines.
I don't think it is. But
how do you not
you've got a
think
good
it
point.
is?
You've got a good point.
Here's the thing, though. It's his level of dedication. It's like saying, you know, I want to go to the gym and I want to get in shape, but I don't need to work out my calves. Okay? It's like, it's all a part of the package. The discipline for him not to go out and eat and spend money on, you know, the smaller things is going to transfer into everything else. If he's able to get one thing done, everything else will fall into place.
I call out what I see.
I hope everyone can feel better about their positions because I'm so up.
It's not about that.
That's the value. That's most of your comment.
The value is so that they don't make the same mistakes and people in your situation can hopefully improve their situation.
I don't know how many people are in his situation, though. Let's be real. I mean, like being blacklisted from jobs at this point, you know, making comments on Twitter. I feel like it's at its core an attitude problem. That's what it seems like to me, more than the logistics of him getting a job.
I get your routine. You're like Dave Ramsey, but you trump it up into like Chef Ramsey. You know, it's like a combination. It's actually pretty cool. Like, I get the bit.
Well, you just took a 180 on that sentence real quick.
Yeah.
It's funny how he's turning it right around back at Caleb, who's trying to help him. But here's the thing, though. I think he could only take so much criticism before he's just going to internalize it and then boom, right back at you. So whatever you give him, he is just harnessing those critiques and it's going to snap back. And it seems like that's what's happened throughout his career.
You are taking it as an insult versus like, hey, we can just do
kind
this.
of an insult. That's a little bit of an insult.
Fine.
A little bit of an
immature.
I don't think I'm that immature. I think taquitos are perfectly fine.
Gosh, the drama. The drama. I mean, it's evident neither person is going to get anywhere at this. At this point, he shut down. I think Caleb overloaded him, gave him a little bit too much critique, and he shut down, and everything that he was onto in the beginning is just out the door. So at this point, I don't think any progress is going to be made, but keep watching for the drama, okay? It's going to get better.
Where I struggle is leaning on the parents, but then not willing to cut back, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
How do I do that while also trying to network and get the things that I like? I'm trying to network at the same time.
You just find a way. I mean, here's the thing. I truly believe if there's a will, there's a way. And most people really have no idea what they're able to accomplish. I mean, the possibilities, in my opinion, are limitless. The world is your oyster, especially if you're under the age of like 35. Oh my gosh, you could do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Besides maybe being an astronaut, but almost whatever you want, you could do it.
I fear that you are going to be forced in order to live because you won't have anyone backing your rent.
I don't think that I will end up there because I am pretty talented. Like, I can always find something.
He's not finding something. That's the problem, is that, you know, he's turning down the somethings. And I expect unless he changes, he'll continue to turn down the somethings.
I'll let you have the final word.
Yeah. I don't know. Thank you for having me on. I was like, it's tough. It's good. We got into it, but it's worth it.
It's all from love.
Right on, man. Appreciate it, Caleb. Thanks.
Yikes. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, but this one is wild. I want to see your comments, though, so let me know down below what you think about this, your impressions, and what you think would help. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, feel free to add me on Instagram, and don't forget that you can get a free stock worth all the way up to $1,000 with our paid sponsor, Public.com, down below in the description when you make a deposit with the code GRAHAM. Enjoy. Thank you so much, and until next time.